Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slane Hope, and I got another video for y'all. This one I'm gonna show y'all a video clip, and then I'm gonna give y'all my commentary on it.
But I like the fact that I have this personality because I know how to stand my ground when necessary.
Does it serve you well?
It does, absolutely. Because people who truly care about me and understand me know that I'm just standing up for myself and I know how to speak and articulate myself properly. People, on the other hand, get quickly intimidated by that because they don't have the same ability to speak for themselves the way that I do.
You know, I would say I don't think it's intimidation. I would say it is acknowledgement of the fact that they're not willing to engage with aggressive behavior. And so a lot of the time...
So that is intimidation.
No. It's not. It's actually smart.
A wise decision.
It's actually a wise decision. So it's like if somebody keeps bringing aggressive behavior to me, as a man, I would say, I have to make a decision as to whether or not I am going to deal with that. And I'll be like, you know what, 9 times out of 10, especially if it comes from a woman, I ain't willing to deal with it.
But here's the thing,
but the thing is, on your side, you might see that as me being intimidated by you. I'm just saying, listen, I hear you're aggressive and I can see you're aggressive, but you know what? Go give that to someone else.
There is
I ain't got time for it.
Now let me say this before I begin to get, all critical and stuff. Now, I understand the climate because I got a lot of women friends. So I understand how a lot of times because you have to fend for yourself and, guys is hitting on you all the time and it gets annoying and they get disrespectful and they do certain things. And a lot of times you have to defend yourself, right? You have to be tough. You have to be strong, especially in New York, right? Even in the jungle, right? The most timid creature is the one that is preyed upon, right? It happens all the time. Like lions and predators they don't go after the pack that's together and is, and if you're a little more stern, they tend to kind of like, they don't really want, they want the easy prey. So it's kind of like the same thing, right? So women kind of like deal with this type of stuff where if they're too timid, if they're too a little, they kind of like feel like, nobody's gonna respect them. Like when women have told me this too, when I'm nice and when I say no thank you, like they don't really respect it until I come off nasty, right? So I get it. I get the whole mechanism of this is what men respect. They only respect violence, and that's true to an extent, because even when men deal with other men, right? Like if you're a timid man, if you're shy, if you're a certain way, men a lot of times don't respect that, right? They respect the violent man, the man who willing to put the paws on somebody, slap them up, and do certain things. So I can understand why some of these sisters do certain things. Now, see, here's the problem, right? The problem comes in when that type of behavior, that mechanism starts to become a part of you. So, for example, a lot of our sisters love running with the narrative that this woman said, right? People are intimidated by me because I'm outspoken and I speak for myself, right? And a lot of times, some of these sisters are even overly aggressive. Like the brother said in the video, I'm not trying to put up with no aggression. Me, I come from the same place. Like, I don't even want to deal with aggressive men who are overly aggressive, who just want to like every time they talk, like I don't even want to deal with those men. So imagine the woman, especially the woman that I'm dealing with. I don't want to deal with an aggressive ass woman. And I think the problem is this. A lot of those sisters do not know how to turn that shit off, right? They don't know how to turn off the overly aggressive, insufferable behavior. And when you're dealing with somebody, and I don't know if it comes from a place of trauma, like when you start feeling like, when you start feeling like you can't, like, it's almost like they start feeling like they can't even trust the person that they're with. Like if you're feeling attacked by the person that you're with, or you're feeling like you have to come out overly aggressive or do certain things, because let's be honest, that's a reaction to feeling attacked, to not feeling safe, right? Which is why a lot of sisters always run with this narrative of I'm feminine for the right man, right? Which I think is bullshit. I think you need to be able to practice being feminine. You need to be raised in a feminine environment for that to be a part of you. That's just what I think it is, right? I think that's really what it is. And I think a lot of our sisters, they never had that training. They never had that process. And I think the society also kind of like makes it hard. But the whole point that I'm trying to say is that sometimes we exhibit this behavior amongst people that care about us, amongst people who, you know, genuinely want to be there for us and don't want to hurt us and don't mean us no harm. But because this has become part of our mechanism and our subconscious mind, we don't know how to put it off. And then you become a burden. You become a problem for other people when this is the only way that you know how to communicate. When this is the only way, and then you disguise it as saying, I'm just strong, I'm just independent, I'm just speaking up for myself, because for a period of time maybe I didn't, right? So I think that in their mind, like the brother said, in their mind they think that they're doing something good. They think that they're doing the right thing. They think that this is just part of their boundaries, right? But I'm here to tell you that you can exercise your boundaries without having to be insufferable, without having to be nasty out the mouth. I've seen so many situations, right, where I've seen women get nasty out the mouth for no reason. And when I say no reason, I'm not saying that they didn't come from a certain place. What I'm saying no reason is, in the present moment, I've seen like women go to the store and just wild out on the store clerk because they got the order wrong on certain things, right? Like, it's just this nasty, intolerable, like, behavior, right? Like, it's just nasty. It's disgusting. Like, nobody really wants to be around that, to be honest. Some men might like it, but a lot of men, a lot of men are complaining about that, right? They're taken to the internet, they're taken to these podcasts, they're taken to wherever they're taken to, because your behavior is disgusting. And the crazy thing is that, like, when somebody tries to bring that up to you, when somebody tries to say, like, yo, you know, tone it down a little bit, like, you know, you don't know how to express yourself without yelling or without wilding out or without clapping or without doing whatever you're doing. And it's just like, some of these women say, this is just who I am, this is a part of me, take it or leave it. So it becomes kind of hard sometimes, right, to even hold a mirror up to some people that we might care about, and we just might want them to change their behavior because they in that fight or flight mode at all times, right? So again, I just think this is reflective of the experiences that people have been through. But at what point do we kind of like draw the line, right? Because we get it. Nobody wants to invalidate what you've been through. And maybe you've been violated, maybe you've been disrespected, maybe you've been through certain things that make you operate in this way. And nobody wants to undermine that. Nobody wants to remove your experiences and throw them away, right? But the question is, at what point do we actually sit down and you actually reflect on, maybe I am wild, maybe I do talk a little too aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Maybe my behavior is intolerable, you know? Maybe I do got a lot of masculine energy. At what point do we do that, right? Instead of deflecting and saying, well, the right man is going to know how to deal with me. Because this is just the things that I hear from a lot of women, right? They say, I'm going to be feminine for the right guy. The right guy is going to know how to deal with me. And then it's just like, I notice that sometimes these chicks just go in a pattern, right? Like, they'll go from one dude and then like, and again, as long as you're telling yourself that the right man will come along someday and will be able to understand you, or not understand, because it's not even about understanding. They say the right man will be able to allow me to be feminine. So it's a crutch, because when situations don't work with these, I'm just talking about the women that think like this. When situations don't work with these type of women, it's again, the blame is shifted, right? It's never like my behavior, my attitude was the reason. It's always, well, that wasn't the right man, and they hop around and they continue to wait for the right man. When in reality, all you have to do is really listen to somebody. All you have to do is really listen to somebody. If somebody's telling you like, yo, you know, you're a little too aggressive. You know, you're a little like this. You don't have to view that as an attack. You don't have to view that as an attack. That's part of a relationship, right? You tell a man what he's doing that you might not like, and he tells you what you're doing that you might not like. But the problem seems to be accountability. It seems to be that every time we say something or we speak up, is we get confronted and we get, you know, we get, oh, you're being too emotional, or you're being too soft, oh, you this, you that. Like, it's always, instead of it being adhered and respected, it's always, instead of it being adhered and respected and looked at as a place of, oh, he's trying to help me because he's trying to grow with me, it's always looked at like, oh, he's just trying to attack me, he's trying to suppress me, he's trying to do this. Like, it's always like this power struggle, man. And I think like when a woman exudes masculine energy, there's two masculine energies coexisting together trying to battle each other, because that's what men do. Men compete with each other, men argue, men fight, men do all these things. So when a woman has too much of that masculine energy, I feel like she does the same things too, try to compete with her man. But that's it, man. That's the whole video. I just wanted to highlight that a lot of sisters say is that men are intimidated by that behavior, but in reality it's insufferable behavior that we just don't want to tolerate and have to deal with. So let me know what y'all thoughts are. If y'all like the video, make sure you share it, like it, subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.